Hey, it's CityCast Portland host Claudia Meza here. You might notice there's 2 episodes in your feed today, and that's because we've got a special bonus episode sponsored by Pivot Property Management. And I am so excited to tell you about what we're cooking up with them. They're a small, locally rooted team in downtown Portland with a big idea: reimagining what our empty downtown spaces could become. And they approached us asking, would your listeners have any ideas for some of these empty spaces in our portfolio? How freaking cool is that? And they were just like, what if we turned it into a contest? So here I am sitting down with Rose Anderson and Victoria Boyle from Pivot Property Management to talk through this new contest that invites you, our listeners, to dream up creative ways to transform 5 vacant downtown properties from spaces that used to be historic stables near the waterfront to a massive open floor space on Broadway. This is a call to all the artists, entrepreneurs, and dreamers to help shape Portland's future. So listen up. So for people who haven't heard of Pivot before, can you guys share a little bit about what you guys are all about?
Yeah, I'm Rose. I'll start and explain who we are. We're Pivot Property Management. We started in 2009 because our owner is a historic building owner, and he had a dream of making property management more flexible and more catered to small local families who own buildings instead of the big companies that own it all over the country. And so he started Pivot, and here we are. And now we're just a small team in downtown Portland. We're down here every day, and we're mostly made up of Portland natives and Pacific Northwest natives.
Yeah, people who live here.
Yep, exactly.
As opposed to some other development companies. You know, speaking of downtown, I hear a lot of folks say that it's struggling, but Pivot has gone firm with don't count downtown out. Now, what are you guys seeing there that has so much potential?
This is Victoria. I can take that one. We have been down here throughout the whole thing. Like Rose said, we are downtown every day, and we've definitely seen things improve. I hate to, compare pre-COVID, post-COVID, but it's truth for us. Now that we're starting to see things improve, we feel like now's a good time to jump on what the future of downtown could potentially be, and maybe even make it better than it ever was before. We really want to incorporate the creative nature that Portland is so well known for.
Yeah. Oh my God, I love that. I don't know if you guys saw, there was a TikTok going around that had the owner of Mother's, that restaurant. Did you guys see that TikTok?
Yes.
It was such a good video. She comes out and she's like, I want everyone to see downtown. She's like, do you see anyone walking? Do you see anyone here? And it wasn't like it's a hellscape or whatever, but she's basically saying, nobody lives here. We got to figure this out. We got to be creative about our spaces. We got to be creative about downtown now, because like you said, before COVID and after, and you can't blame people for like not wanting to go back to downtown to work there if they can work from home. And it's just, that thinking. And what I'm enjoying about learning more about Pivot is that you guys seem really focused on creative use of space, moving beyond just office or retail, which is why downtown is empty. What are some examples of how you've transformed buildings into something new and more community oriented?
Victoria here. In small ways, as you may or may not know, Portland Sleestack works on our team. And so we have a window at the Sleestack factory where he displays a lot of his stuff and plays his movie and that kind of stuff. And that shows right out onto the sidewalk. And then also we have recently started an art show monthly highlighting a certain artist. Our idea is to do it once per month. We're about every 6 weeks, we'll change out the window. Again, that's right out on the sidewalk.
You mean in the Pivot building, like your headquarters? Yes. So you have like galleries out front. And for those who are just like Sleestack, because I feel like if you are a listener and you went to 503 Day, if you went to our block party, you saw Sleestack. But can you explain who that mascot, who that person, lizard?
There's the person behind the lizard. Sleestack came from Land of the Lost, and Brent Maher started as a Halloween costume, and he was just going to do the head. I don't even know how many years ago that was. Then once he got inspired by the head, then he built the whole suit. I think he's on his 3rd and 4th suit now.
Oh, wow.
And he, is a part of a weird Portland United. If you are out and about in Portland, chances are you will see him at some point, or be frightened by him, or be delighted by him. I heard rumors that he likes to hang out at the Witch Castle.
Okay.
I have
Fitting. Yeah.
He's been down at the Saturday market, and he's been to the zoo, and he sometimes is on the Max.
Yeah. I mean, which is very, very Portland.
Yeah.
I feel like if we don't see at least one person in a costume in your daily life, like, are you even in Portland?
It's so true.
Yeah. So let's go back to what you've been doing already, using spaces more creatively.
We're just starting in this process, and so we're kind of excited about breaking out of the mold of, being just office or just retail. In our office, community is really important too, and we do a holiday breakfast where we want to be face to face with our tenants and finding out what's happening with them and what their news is and things like that. And then as the Pivot team also has our blocks downtown through Adopt One Block, which we're strong supporters of. And we also join Portland Trash Pickup whenever we can. Those kinds of community events where we can be part of working with other people. We're just looking to the future of Portland.
Right. It feels like we're going to be the people helping you with the larger pieces of like, all right, we've got a space. What are we going to do here? So let's talk about, why we're here. Like, let's talk about this contest. So we want to hear from CityCast Portland listeners with the most creative ideas for how to make these properties come to life. And I don't think a lot of developers would choose to just turn all of the decision-making process over to the public. So why is this idea exciting to you?
It's exciting because someone out there has a dream, and maybe my space can make that happen for them, be the place where that dream comes to fruition. We want to support that creative nature.
Yeah. And it's also, I feel like it's sometimes better to hear from people who are outside of your scope. I've noticed that, like, whenever I'm stuck with something, it's like you want an outside perspective. Like, you're just like, I know this needs to be different, but I'm just thinking more like another office, another retail space. Right? I can imagine that getting some fresh ideas is going to be really helpful. So let's talk about these spaces. Like, how many spaces are there?
So right now we have got 5 spaces that we think would be really great spaces to have some change in. First, we have the retail space in the Grand Stable building, which is on Southwest 2nd Avenue near the waterfront. It's a historic building. It used to be where they kept the stables and the horses, or the carriages and the horses.
Oh, wow.
And so it's got the display window is where the horses walked in. It's like big coved window. It's about 4,600 square feet on the main floor, 9,400 square feet in the basement. It's got high ceilings, 2 entrances, street exposure. It's got exposed brick. It looks like it has entrances to the Shanghai tunnels, which I don't think it does, but it looks like it. And
let's just say it does.
Yeah, and it's move-in ready. Then we've got the 620 building, which is where our office is. So management is in the building, which is always a plus for people. And then that one's got our whole 5th floor is built out like an office, move-in ready. And we're looking for someone who can find something that looks like an office, but is used for something else, because it's already built out, it's furnished, it's everything like that. And then we've got the retail space in that building, which is the corner of 5th and Alder. It's a blank canvas for what anyone wants to make of it. That one is about 10,000 square feet.
Oh, wow.
It's got 7 display windows, 20-foot ceilings. Really could be an awesome spot. And then the 2nd floor in this building is 20,000 square feet. It's about a quarter of a city block. So it's huge. Also a blank canvas for whatever anybody wants to make of it. It's got 2 entrances. It connects to our neighboring building, which we also manage. So that one could be awesome too. And then finally, we have the Broadway Commons building on the corner of Southwest Broadway and Oak. The 2nd floor there, also a blank canvas. It's 8,400 square feet of open space. It's on top of a sports bar. Could lead to some ideas. It's next to the Benson Hotel. It's got great street traction. It's on Broadway, so it's always busy down there.
Yeah. And, immediately, I'm assuming our listeners are going to be like, why can't we turn these into living spaces? Is that out of scope, or is that something that you would consider?
We would consider it. We'd love to do some residential. We feel strongly that there should be more residential downtown. I think if we were to have another pandemic or issue like we had previously, that we've got to have people living downtown to support all the restaurants and all of the retail and creative stuff that we want to do down here. You've got to have people, you've got to have a combination of things going on down here. We would definitely consider it. There are complications with turning historic masonry buildings into residential. We have considered it for some that would be more likely, just trying to figure out how we could make that happen.
Yeah, because you need to get it retrofitted, all that stuff, and then the bathrooms and the plumbing. Exactly. And I know Rose described a lot of spaces, but there are YouTube video walkthroughs of each of these spaces, and we're going to have a landing page. So we'll link to everything in the show notes so you can go and check out how to submit your ideas. If you're inspired by the space, these sound so cool. Like immediately, like my mind is reeling for the kind of closer to the waterfront, the Southwest floor level retail space that used to be like a horse stables. That sounds so cool. And I feel like we need more stuff towards the waterfront. So that's really exciting stuff. Well, the way this is going to work is we're going to be opening submissions on our website. The submission form can be found in the link in our show notes for our listeners to share ideas about how to reimagine these spaces. And then we're going to pick a few of the most exciting ideas as finalists for our listeners to vote on, and then we're going to announce the winner on our podcast, newsletter, and socials. And as an incentive, we will provide a prize for the winner. More details to come on that. What sorts of ideas are you hoping will go into the winning submissions? Just a cheat code here.
We would love something like art studios, pop-up shops that don't have to be there for long, with like venues of some kind. Food carts inside of a covered area would be great. Co-working spaces, coffee shops. We were even talking like if a band needed somewhere to practice. We would love a haunted house maybe that would be awesome in October.
Yeah, that would be so cool.
Maybe next year, maybe this year. That'd be so fun. But yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah. Oh my God. I wish that we could do that turnaround, especially near the waterfront, because there's already some activity there. It'd be so cool to just have like a spooky, like a Mike Bennett haunted. I'm sure he's already doing that somewhere.
Yeah.
A Mike Bennett haunted house. Mike Bennett, are you listening?
We're so close to you. Come down here.
Can you hear us? Can you hear us? But I feel like there's so many Mike Bennetts in the making.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it may not be their style. Like, listen to our words. If you've always had ideas and you're just like, if I just had this space, here are 5 spaces. This is incredible. The fact that we're doing this is amazing. And trust me, our listeners have a lot of opinions. So this is like putting money where, putting our mouth, what is it? Putting my money where my mouth is? How do you use that? Putting the wallet in the mouth. You put the wallet in the mouth, right?
Sure.
And then you say stuff about the wallet. Is that the saying? That's the saying.
Put your money where your mouth is? Is that what it is?
There we go.
I think that's what it is.
I think that's what it is. Do what Rose said. Reach out to us and give us your ideas. Again, we're going to link to the submission page, to the spaces. You can go see them yourself, and it's going to be great. I cannot wait. Oh my gosh. You guys, thank you for taking the time, hanging out with me. Thank you so much for reaching out. Just so you guys know, this isn't like we were like, oh, here at CityCast Portland, we're going to figure that. No. They came to us. Pivot was like, guys, what if? So thank you for trusting us with like this really cool project. We're so excited to be part of it.
We're super excited to be working with you.
That's all for today's sponsored episode with Pivot Property Management. And if you've got a brilliant idea for how to bring life to downtown using one of their spaces, submit it through the contest link in our show notes. You're going to find details on all 5 spaces and how to enter for a chance to see your idea come to life. I think there might also be prizes, so go check that out. And a big thanks to Pivot Property Management for partnering with us on this project and for believing in Portland's creative community. And we'll be back tomorrow morning with more news and stories from around the city. Until then, see you at Slim's.